Piston fans felt they would be headed to the Palace of Auburn Hills to witness their home team wrapping things up tonight on the way to another trip to the NBA Finals. Instead, they have been witnesses to the sparkling play of LeBron James and his Cavaliers, who have fought their way back into this series. Tonight from the Motor City, it is Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final. The Cleveland Cavaliers facing the Detroit Pistons with the series even at 2 apiece. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albin along with Steve Kerr. Doug Collins. We'll hear more from Craig Sager in just a moment. The Cavs and the Pistons on the court, ready to go. Let's check out the McDonald's starting lineups. And first, for the Cavaliers, the last 2 games, it has been a different LeBron James. He's been aggressive. He's taken over with clutch performances in the fourth quarter. Drew Gooden has hit clutch shots in games 3 and 4. And once again, Larry Hughes will give it a try despite that injured foot, but we will see much of the exciting rookie Daniel Gibson. For the Pistons, a great deal of pressure on Chauncey Billups, who has been disappointing. That's a high number of turnovers for Chauncey. And Detroit wondering which Rasheed Wallace will they see tonight. An emotional Rasheed playing solid all-around basketball, or will he be soaking coming off a subpar Game 4? And the guys who will be dealing with the emotions of both teams, the officiating crew, Bob Delaney, Bennett Salvatore, and Ron Garrison. The usual capacity crowd, better than 22,000 here at the Palace. And guys, the question is, can the Pistons get hold of the early lead? They have not been able to force the action, and they found themselves playing from behind right from the start.
Well, Marv, I think they would like to see how Cleveland would react if they got down by double digits. That has not happened in 4 games. Look for Detroit to get up the floor and pressure more in the first quarter. They've usually waited until the second half to do that. I think you're going to see more of that to try to force the issue here early in the game.
Yes, in this series, the Pistons have not led by more than 5 points in any game, and the Cavaliers control the opening tip as Hughes is met by Billups. James gets it down low. They usually go to Ilgauskas for the first shot. Zydrunas facing a double and has to throw it out. Shot clock down to 6. And it's last touched by the Pistons.
You know, it's interesting. That play has not worked a single time through 4 games, but I think Mike Brown just feels like I've got to establish Ilgauskas early. I keep waiting for Ilgauskas to go to the counter move, maybe a little fadeaway to the baseline.
And he was met by the double team. Now Ilgauskas with the shot and hits.
That's the shot he's most comfortable with, that little face-up jump shot. I know you have to throw the ball in the post to try to go to work in there, but he makes a very, very high percentage of that jump shot.
Hamilton and Billups in the backcourt. Weber, Wallace, Prince up front. Billups met by James. And here's Billups for Prince. Rebound comes to Weber. Weber with the running hook. Handled by Good.
I think Weber needs to get off to a quick start here, guys, because he has not done a whole lot after the first quarter in this series, as LeBron can't get the floater to go. But Weber will not play a whole lot in the second half unless he has a good first quarter.
Prince with the hustle and able to save it. Billups is open for 3. Yes.
You know, the offensive rebounding so favored Cleveland coming into this series. Now all of a sudden it's Detroit that's winning the battle of the offensive boards. That time 2 offensive boards got him a 3-point shot.
Ball made away from the ball against the Pistons. It's on Hamilton.
Nothing a shooter likes more than an offensive rebound, because the defense completely scattered. You oftentimes end up with a wide open look like Billups did there.
Making his way. Hamilton coming over to help. Here's the fade. LeBron James hitting that baseline fadeaway.
That's the shot he's grown comfortable with. We've talked about it throughout this series. Fading away, going over that right shoulder, fading left. That seems to be his comfort level.
Weber gets it down low. Here's Wallace, rejected by Ilgauskas. Wallace is fouled. It's on Ilgauskas.
Well, you can see what's happened on that play. That little curl screen that Rip Hamilton runs, they run him into a trap. And what happens now, the other big man, if he'll work underneath the basket, will be able to find some easy openings. So it comes off Weber right there into a trap. And just watch Rip Hamilton on the move. And they're going to soft trap him. Watch how the big man steps out. That means Wallace underneath the basket on the second pass will be open. It's that hockey assist that Flip Saunders just talked about his team has to make.
In Game 4 in Cleveland for the first time of the series, Rasheed was not a major factor. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 0 for 3 from beyond that three-point line, plus the technical late in the game. But he's had a strong series, and he has been the Pistons' best all-around player in their postseason run.
And especially the first 2 games here, Marv, he was definitely the MVP. His numbers he put up, how about his defense? 9 block shots in those first 2 games, only 3 total in the 2 games in Cleveland.
Pistons by 1. Good with the lead for Pavlovich, but it was off the mark. Try to toss the lob. Phillips. And threw the foul on Gooden off that change of pace.
And you see they're trying to get out and run, maybe trying to get an early bucket in transition. But all that started because Detroit picked up in the backcourt, as you talked about, Doug. They picked up on the previous possession, full court. Cleveland ran that shot clock way down. It ended up in a turnover by Gooden.
Wallace played by Gooden. They clear it out. Shot clock to 5. Rasheed Wallace has given the Pistons a 7-4 lead.
And when you see that one, you say, well, why don't you do that the whole game? I mean, that's unguardable. Just putting a body on Gooden and then fading away. That extension on the jump shot is just incredible.
James trying to get it to Ilgauskas as he was met by the double. Hughes with a catch and shoot for 3.
That's gravy right there. I mean, Larry Hughes is gutting this out. I mean, and they need him, I think, to start the game defensively on Billups, and he's really putting in some good minutes at the defensive end. But if he makes a jump shot, that's just gravy there.
The other night, only 16 minutes for Hughes. Got a Novocaine shot in that left foot. Start of the game. Phillips backing in and is fouled by Hughes. Larry Hughes suffering that partial tear of the left foot after taking a fall in the first quarter in Game 3.
And what this also does, too, Larry Hughes, they're very comfortable with him starting. And rather than throwing Daniel Gibson out on the fire as a starter in this game tonight, this Game 5, let him continue in the role, but he's playing so well. Like, you don't want to change up what he's been doing.
Hamilton. Rebounded by James. Tied at 7. Game 5 of this Eastern Conference final series. Hughes again for 3. So Larry Hughes, who was a question mark in terms of playing, in terms of starting, has hit 2 from downtown.
We talked about in the open how important it is for Cleveland to make jump shots just because it will open up the floor for LeBron. I don't think we expected Hughes to be the one making the perimeter shots, though.
Phillips gets inside.
Great screen that time by Rasheed Wallace. Just sort of came in behind Gooden, and when Chauncey beat his man, there was nobody there to help at the basket.
Gooden. You know, going back to the Pistons series against the Bulls over the last 8 games, nice pass, Phillips for Weber. The Pistons have not played as you'd expect. They have not been dominant. Perhaps their last good games, Game 2 and Game 6 against Chicago. But you talk about Game 2, that's over 3 weeks ago.
Well, and also, too, Marv, I think, you know, the first couple rounds, the Detroit guards, as we see a nice drive here by James, and he'll get to the line. But, Marv, I think when you look at the first 2 playoff series that Detroit played, Orlando had small guards, and Detroit punished them. Chicago had small guards. That was the difference. You come into this Cleveland game, all of a sudden they're looking at Larry Hughes, Pavlovich. You know, you come in with Eric Snow, he's strong. And I think those bigger guards have bothered Detroit's guards, and that's really the key to their offensive attack.
We did see some signs from Hamilton and Billups in game 4.